Hey viewers, drop a hi in the comments. It's a spark that fires up YouTube's algorithm for sci-fi fans like us. Who's ready to feel humanity's wrath? On Cypher 3, a human mining colony in the Vether Belt, the void screamed and the stars bled. The Krenvar struck at dusk, their bone-jagged ships slicing Cypher 3's violet sky. A void pulse hummed, a heartbeat of annihilation. Crystal domes folded into black voids, air igniting in white-hot screams. Dome 4, the colony's heart imploded, erased in a silent scar of light. Miner Jace Core slammed a blast door in sub-level 8, his hands raw. "Move!" he roared into crackling comms. Workers in patched exosuits stumbled through shaking tunnels, gravity warping. Outside, the pulse hit Dome 1, its steel skeleton twisting into nothing. Screams vanished in static. Lieutenant Soren Vale, one of 2,000 UEDF troops, hauled a wounded miner to Evac 6. "Launch!" he bellowed. The pilot's console blinked red, overloaded. "Rip the hatch!" Vale shouted. The shuttle tore upward through ash clouds. At 12,000 meters, the pulse struck. The hull folded, gone. Jace stood in a sealed bunker, clutching his sister's scarf, her last trace, lost in Dome 4. Through a cracked viewport, he saw no debris, just absence. The Krenvar broadcast it live, their drones streaming miners' final gasps, domes collapsing, shuttles imploding. Galactic bets surged on death tolls. Overlord Kliss reclined in his command ship, a lattice of pulsating chitin. His mandibles clicked, eyes gleaming like oil. "Soft prey," he rasped, watching a holoscreen of a miner's shadow burned into slag. His warriors, insectoid and clawed, chittered, tossing a human boot at his throne. The screen looped. A child's scream, a dome's void, odds flashing. 4. 1 for total erasure. A Krenvar spun a rifle, slamming it down. "Tribute," it hissed. Kliss's laugh scraped like glass. "They boast of spirit, yet shatter so small." Viewership spiked across Krenvar systems, cheers echoing. On Enceladus, 5 billion kilometers away, Abyss Vault hummed beneath ice. General Tarek Vin watched the Krenvar's stream, his fist cracking the console. Admiral Lisa Kren, beside him, froze at a frame, a scarf in rubble, a soldier's silhouette. "They made death a game," Kren whispered. Major Vera Holt, the room's tech, cycled footage. Krenvar glyphs mocked human weakness. No Galactic Council word, just silence. "Under review," a tech muttered. Vin's voice was steel. "Review? They're betting on our graves." Kren's jaw clenched. 10,000 dead in 6 minutes. Kleiss's stream replayed, a worker's plea, a dome's collapse, bets soaring. Kren slammed the table. "They mocked our kin." Holt pulled a red file. Directive Serpent. "This doesn't beg," she said. Vin nodded. "It bites." Amber lights flared, blast doors sealed with a thud. Cypher 3's ruins smoked, sub-level 8 a tomb. Jace rigged a signal, fingers bleeding. "We're here," he whispered, voice looping in a buried node. 50 survivors, miners, troops, coughed in darkness, air fading. Above, Krenvar drones hummed, their scans a death knell. Kliss's ship orbited, streaming a warrior carving prey into a shuttle's husk. Viewers bet on survivors, none expected. "Art," a glyph read. On Enceladus, Vin faced his council. "Words failed," he said. "Serpent rises." Holt activated schematics. Wrath 7, a mech of vengeance. In Abyss Vault's depths, cranes parted, revealing Wrath 7, 18 meters, black as sin, its serpent's fang insignia scarred. Dr. Elara Sin, lead engineer, touched its hull. "It's awake," she murmured. Vin entered. "Does it kill?" Sin nodded. "It never forgot." Wrath 7's cockpit hissed, neural links crackling. Lena Vore, 38, stepped up, her face scarred from Cypher 3's first raid. Her brother's laugh haunted her. "Ready?" Vin asked. Vore's voice was ice. Always was. She palmed the biometric reader. "Lena Vore, authorized," the system growled. The mech rumbled, plates shifting, eyes blazing red, claws flexed, a plasma fang hummed. Vor climbed in, sealing the cockpit. On Cipher 3, Jace's signal looped. "Tell my sister, we held." The Krenvar mocked, blind to Wrath 7's coming, humanity's fury in steel. Enceladus chamber dimmed, Krenvar footage looping. Vin showed Serpent's plans, 12 mechs, neural linked, AI tethered. "Kliss's base on Vren," Vin said. "We strike there." Major Torin Cass objected. "This voids treaties." Kren snapped. "They voided our people." Cass pressed. "Serpent's annihilation, not war. The Council will retaliate." Vin's voice cut. "Let them try." He greenlit Vor's drop. In Hangar Black, Wrath 7 rose, cranes retracting. Sin whispered, "It's more than steel." Vor's voice crackled. "It's enough." On Vren, Krenvar's base pulsed under a crimson sky, its crux a neural hub. Wrath 7 dropped, silent, through sulfur clouds. Vor's HUD flickered. No AI, just instinct. The mech landed, cracking stone. Krenvar guards, chitinous, spiked, froze. Wrath 7's fang ignited, slashing a bunker. 712. Alarms screamed. Krenvar warriors swarmed, plasma bolts sparking. Wrath 7 moved, a specter of rage toppling a spire with one claw. Vor didn't speak, just destroyed. A Krenvar warrior fell, skewered, the crux burned, humanity's answer etched in ash. Vren's base collapsed, Krenvar corpses piled like warnings. Wrath 7 stood in ruins, its fang glowing. Vor carved Jace's name on its arm, a vow. Krenvar drones broadcast the loss, their taunts silenced. On Enceladus, Vin watched, pride flaring. Kliss's ship roared, demanding a counter. "They defy?" he snarled, smashing a console. His engineers salvaged Wrath 4, its neural core intact. "Copy it," Kliss ordered. On Cipher 3, Jace's signal weakened, oxygen gone. "We're here," he whispered, voice faint. In Abyss Vault, 11 mechs woke, scarred, hulking, each bearing a pilot's mark. Lieutenant Kael Thorn, Vor second, synced with Wrath 9. "Vren was a spark," he said. Vor's voice was cold. "Thalor's the fire, their crux." Vin nodded. "End their mind." 848. Krenvar's crux on Thalor loomed. A neural fortress pulsing with stolen human data. Krith units, replica mechs, patrolled, mimicking Wrath 7's claw. Vor saw her own moves reflected, rage rising. "You built shells," she muttered, "not souls." Wrath 7 dropped onto Thalor's ash fields, 9 mechs trailing. Thorn's Wrath 9 flanked, cannons blazing. Krith units emerged, 12, chitin black, visors red. They moved like Vor, too precise, too learned. "They're us," Thorn hissed. Vor growled. "They're lies." A Krith lunged, copying Vor's fang slash. Wrath 7 dodged, tearing its core, sparks flying. Thorn fired, downing another. Krith's predicted patterns, mirroring strikes. Vor broke rhythm, charging wildly, instinct raw. A Krith faltered, then fell, crushed underfoot. Thalor's crux pulsed, guiding Krith's via neural links. Vor marked its core. "That's their mind," she said. Thorn's mech took a hit, arm sparking. "We're bleeding," he shouted. Vor's voice was steady. "Not yet." She carved through a Krith, painting Jace's name again. On Cipher 3, Jace's bunker darkened, air spent. His signal looped. "Tell my sister." A UEDF probe caught it, pinging Abyss Vault. Vin froze. "Survivors," he whispered. Kren roared. "Get them." Vor on Thalor didn't know. Only the crux mattered, its pulse mocking Cipher 3. Krenvar engineers on Vix dissected Wrath 4, mapping Vor's neural rhythms. "She fights without AI," one chittered. Kliss's voice hissed, "Build more." Kriths multiplied, their motions human-like. On Thalor, Vor sensed it. "They're stealing me," she muttered, abandoning patterns. Wrath 7 fought raw, no form, just fury. A Krith mimicked her Vren strike. Vor countered, chaotic, ripping its visor. Thorn's mech limped, but he fired, downing 3. "Keep moving," Vor shouted. The Crux's pulse quickened, Kriths swarming, their eyes like stars. On Enceladus, Vin launched recon to Cipher 3, tracing Jace's signal. "Sublevel 8,
a tech confirmed. Kren gripped her chair. They live. On Thalor, Vor's HUD flickered. Krith's adapted, mirroring her chaos. You want me? She growled. Take this. Thalor's battlefield smoked, Krith's piling up.
Wrath 7's claw sparked, fang dimming. Vor climbed a ridge, crux in sight. Thorn's mech fell, cockpit cracked. Go! He yelled. Vor paused, then charged, slashing a path. The Crux's core throbbed, Krenvar's stolen mind. A Krith elite, taller, dual fangs, blocked her, moving like Vor's Cypher 3 raid. You stole my fight, Vor spat, dodging a fang. She rolled, firing manually, blasting its arm.
The elite lunged. Wrath 7's chest dented. Vor screamed, blood in her throat, but fired again. The elite's visor darkened, collapsing. Vor limped forward, Crux near. Krenvar drones fired, grazing Wrath 7.
Not enough, Vor whispered, rerouting power to claws. On Cypher 3, recon reached sub-level 8. Jace and 50 survivors stared, hope breaking through ash. Wrath 7 scaled Thalor's crux, steel groaning. Vor's cockpit sparked, UI dead. Krith's trailed, their neural link weakening. You copied my moves, she said, voice raw. Not my heart. She reached the core, a pulsing orb. Kliss's voice screamed. You'll burn. Vor ignored him, wiring Wrath 7's reactor to overload. For Cypher 3, she whispered, carving Jace's name one last time. She flipped the override. The mechs surged, core roaring. Vor ejected, sky blazing. Wrath 7 struck the core, imploding it in a silent void, neural links shattering. Krith's froze, visors blank. Kliss's ship shook, his neural feed frying. No, he wailed, eyes bleeding. Krenvar fleet stalled, relays dead. On Cypher 3, Jace saw stars, rescue shuttles landing. We held, he whispered, gripping the scarf. On Enceladus, Vin watched Thalor's crux fall, pride surging. She did it, Kren said. Jace's survivors reached Abyss Vault, his signal a beacon. Vor, scarred but alive, limped from her pod, helmet cracked. Cypher 3's avenged, she said, voice firm. Thorn, patched, nodded. Humanity's mechs stood silent, their work done. Krenvar's networks burned, their mockery erased. Galactic councils trembled, fearing Earth's blade. Vin pinned a crest on Vor. You're our fang, he said. She carved Jace's name on Wrath 7's ruins, a promise kept. The Vathor belt grew still. Krenvar's pride shattered. A whisper spread. Call humanity, they answer, in steel. Cypher 3's survivors rebuilt, Jace leading. Vor gazed at the stars, her brother's laugh fading. We don't bow, she said. We carve our own. Across the galaxy, Krenvar's fall echoed. Fringe worlds whispered of Earth's wrath, their fear a new currency. Wrath 7's serpent's fang became legend, etched in every human outpost. Vor trained new pilots, her scars a map of Cypher 3's cost, her resolve its fire. Jace, now a foreman, rebuilt Dome 4's frame, his sister's scarf tied to his wrist. We don't break, he told his crew, their hammers ringing. On Enceladus, Vin and Kren planned new mechs, Serpent's legacy growing. They'll know us, Kren said, by our silence. Vor stood in Abyss Vault, Wrath 7 behind her, its fang dim but fierce. She painted one last name, Soren, her brother, on its claw. You didn't die for nothing, she whispered. The galaxy listened, its silence humanity's vow. No cry goes unanswered, no wrong unavenged. If this saga of human vengeance set your soul ablaze, smash that like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Tell us, would you pilot Wrath 7? Share this to keep the HFY flame roaring. Stay tuned, Earth's fire never fades. In Abyss Vault's war room, Vin called a council, the Krenvar's defeat still raw. Serpent worked, he said, holographic schematics of Wrath 7 glowing. Major Cass, scars fresh from Vren's planning, leaned in. But at what cost? We've woken the galaxy's fear. Kren's voice was sharp. Good, let them fear. She cycled footage. Krenvar's crux imploding, Krith's collapsing. Cypher 3's blood demanded it. Cass shook his head. The Council's watching. Retaliation's coming. Vin's eyes narrowed. Then we'll carve deeper. Vor, silent at the table's edge, traced her brother's name on her gauntlet. We didn't start this, she said, voice low, but we ended it. Her words hung, a blade's edge. Sin, the engineer, nodded. Wrath 7's neural core. It felt her. It remembered. On Vren, Krenvar's base was a graveyard, its spires ash. Wrath 7 dropped at dawn, Vor's instincts guiding. The landing quaked the crust, sulfur clouds parting. Krenvar sentries, clawed, frantic, fired plasma lances. Wrath 7's fangs spun, slicing through their ranks like wind. Vor didn't pause. She drove Wrath 7 through a bunker, its walls crumpling. For Jace, she muttered, carving his name mid-strike. Krenvar warriors swarmed, their chittering desperate. Wrath 7's claw crushed a turret, sparks raining. The base's neural hub flickered, exposed. Kliss's voice boomed from orbit. You dare defile us? His drones broadcast Vren's fall, but no bets came, only silence. Vor ignored him, targeting the hub. Wrath 7's plasma fang roared, melting steel. The hub collapsed, Krenvar's taunts drowned in fire. Thorn's Wrath 9 joined, cannons blazing. They're breaking, he shouted. Vor nodded, her HUD dark. Keep them broken. She tore through a Krenvar skiff, its wreckage a trophy. Vren burned, humanity's answer written in scars across the ash. The Krenvar's hub was slag, but Vor didn't stop. She pivoted Wrath 7, scanning Vren's outer rings. Drones buzzed, their lenses streaming her every move. You want a show? She growled, crushing one midair. The broadcast cut, static replacing Krenvar cheers. On Enceladus, Kren watched Vren's fall, her fist clenched. She's rewriting their story, she said. Vin nodded. Good. Let it spread. A tech pinged. Cipher 3 signals stronger. Sublevel 8. 50 alive. Kren's breath caught. Send recon, now. 22 o'clock. Vor carved a path through Vren's ruins, Krenvar fleeing. A warrior raised a white pulse. Surrender. Wrath 7 paused, its fang humming. No mercy, Vor whispered, echoing Cipher 3's screams. She struck, the warrior's chitin shattering. The galaxy saw humanity's verdict. Kliss's engineers on Vix worked feverishly. Wrath 4's neural core flayed open. Her patterns are chaos, a tech hissed, mapping Vor's strikes. Kliss loomed. Build Kriths faster. The replicas, black fang-armed, rose, their visors mimicking Wrath 7's red glow. On Thalor, Vor sensed the shift. Kriths emerged from ash, moving like her, too smooth and too studied. You stole my fight, she muttered, dodging a Krith's fang. Wrath 7 rolled, its claw ripping the replica's core. Sparks flew, but more Kriths came, relentless. Thorn's Wrath 9 took a hit, leg crumpling. They're learning, he shouted. Vor's voice was calm. Then we unlearn. She broke every pattern, striking wildly. A Krith froze, its neural link stuttering, then fell, visor dark. The Crux's pulse quickened, calling more. On Cipher 3, recon breached sublevel 8. Jace stood, gaunt, scarf in hand. You're late, he rasped, half smiling. Captain Aaron Vax, leading the team, gripped his shoulder. Never forgot you. Survivors, 50, burned but alive, stumbled into shuttles, hope a fragile flame. Vor didn't know, her focus Thalar's crux. Kriths swarmed, their mimicry eerie. One struck, copying her Vren slash. She countered, no rhythm, just instinct. Wrath 7's fang tore through. You're not my brothers, she growled, painting Soren's name mid-fight. The crux loomed, its core pulsing like a heart. Vor climbed, Wrath 7's servos screaming. Krenvar drones fired, plasma grazing her mech's flank. Keep coming, she whispered, rerouting power. On Vix, Kliss watched her ascent, his mandibles trembling. She's no mortal. Thaler's ash storms howled, but Wrath 7 climbed. A Krith elite, dual-fanged, heavier, blocked the Crux's gate, mirroring Vor's Cipher 3 charge. You stole my soul, Vor spat, dodging a strike. She fired manually, blasting its leg. The elite roared, fang piercing Wrath 7's shoulder. Vor screamed, blood pooling in her mouth. Wrath 7's HUD flickered, half dead. She leaned not a button, a shift of will, and Wrath 7 rolled, crushing the elite's core. Sparks rained down. Vor limped forward, crux close. For Soren, she whispered, her brother's laugh in her ears. On Sci-Fi 3, Jace boarded a shuttle, his signals loop silent. "Tell my sister we held," he told Vax. She nodded. "She's fighting for you." On Thalor, Vor's cockpit sparked. UI gone. Krith's trailed, but Wrath 7's fang burned, a beacon in the storm. Vor reached the Crux's core, its pulse deafening. "This is your mind," she said, voice raw. She wired Wrath 7's reactor, core to overload. Kliss's voice crackled. "You'll die alone." Vor laughed, carving her scars. Into for Sci-Fi 3. She flipped the override, mech roaring. Wrath 7 surged, core screaming. Vor ejected, sky blazing white hot. The mech smashed hit the core, imploding it in a void. Krith's froze, visors blank. Kliss's ship shook, his neural link frying. "No," he wailed, eyes bleeding black. Krenvar's fleet stalled, relays dead. On Sci-Fi 3, Jace saw stars, shuttles landing. "We held," he whispered, gripping the scarf. On Thalor, Vor landed hard, burned but alive. She limped from her pod, helmet cracked, blood trailing. Thorn met her, his mech scarred. "You broke them," he said. Enceladus's abyss vault roared with pride. Vin watched Thalor's crux fall, a hollow of Wrath 7's fang etched in memory. "She did it," Kren said, voice thick. Jace's survivors arrived, their eyes hollow but fierce. Vin met them. "You're home," he said simply. Vor stood in the hangar, Wrath 7 silent. She carved Jace's name on its claw, a vow kept. "Sci-Fi 3's avenged," she said, voice steady. Kren pinned a crest on her. "You're our fang," she said. Vor nodded, eyes on the stars, Soren's brother's laugh fading. The Vathar belt grew still, Krenvar's pride shattered. A whisper spread. "Call humanity," they answer. "In steel." Sci-Fi 3's survivors rebuilt. Jace led, his scarf a banner. Vor's vow echoed. "We don't bow. We carve our own." The galaxy listened. Krenvar's fall rippled outward. Fringe worlds feared Kren's wrath, Earth's silence and new power. Wrath 7's serpent's fang was legend, carved in every human's outpost. Vor trained pilots, her scars a guide, her resolve a flame. "We don't forget," she told them. Jace rebuilt Dome 4S, frame his hammer strong, his sister's scarf tied tight. "We don't break," he told his crew, their voices rising. On Enceladus, Vin planned new mechs, Serpent's legacy growing. "They'll know us," he said, "by our fire." Vor stood by Wrath 7, its fang dim but fierce. She painted Soren's name, final one last time. "You didn't die for nothing," she whispered. The galaxy's silence was humanity's vow. No cry unanswered, no wound unavenged. Sci-Fi 3's scars would never fade. If this saga of vengeance lit your soul, smash that like that, subscribe, ring that bell. Tell us, would you pilot Wrath 7? Share to keep the HFY flame roaring. Stay tuned, Earth's fire never sleeps. The Krenvar's neural collapse sent their empire reeling. Orbital relays went dark, their fleets adrift. On Thalor, Vor's strike left a crater visible from space, a wound in their hubris. Galactic feeds, once mocking, now carried a new signal. Humanity's, silent, unyielding. Vor walked Thalor's ruins, her boots crunching ash. A Krith's visor lay shattered, its mimicry dead. She knelt, picking it up. "You thought you knew us," she said, crushing it. Her words weren't broadcast, but they felt like a blade, cutting through Krenvar's pride. On Enceladus, Jace met Vor in the vault's core chamber. "You heard us," he said, scarf in hand. Vor touched it, her brother's smile flickering. "Always," she said. Their bond, forged in loss, was Sci-Fi 3's heart, a fire that Krenvar could never steal. Krenvar's counter came late, desperate. On Vix, engineers built Krith swarmed, their last hive. Vin launched a final strike, Wrath 12 leading. No more copies, Kren said. The pilots, Thorn, Vey, Koran, nodded, their mechs bearing names of Cypher 3's dead. Vix burned. Wrath 12 tore through Krith hives, its claws relentless. Vale's mech fell, taking a Krith elite with it. For Cypher, he roared, reactor overloading. The hive collapsed, Krenvar's last stand dust. Vin's voice broke through. It's done. Vor trained a new pilot, her voice like steel. Feel the mech, not the code, she said. The hangar hummed, young eyes on Wrath 7. Cypher 3 taught us, she said. We fight for the living. Her scars were a map, her words a vow, humanity's fire. Jace's Dome 4 rose, its crystal spire gleaming. We rebuild for those who didn't, he said, scarf tied high. Survivors sang, their voices raw, defiant. On Enceladus, Vin carved Wrath 7's fang into the vault's gate. They'll know us, he said, by this. Vor stood alone, stars above. She painted Vale's name on Wrath 7's claw, a final mark. Rest, brother, she whispered. The Vathar's belt was quiet, but humanity's vow wasn't. A promise in steel, a fire that burned through time, unyielding, eternal. Krenvar's empire was memory, their hubris a warning. Galactic councils whispered, their fear humanity's crown. Cypher 3's scars stood proud, rebuilt stronger. Vor's pilots flew, Wrath 7's fang their guide. We don't perform, they said, we endure. Jace led Cypher 3's council, his scarf a relic. We hold, he said, voice steady. Vin planned beyond, mechs for a new age. We rise, he said. Humanity's silence spoke louder than Krenvar's screams ever did, a vow etched in every star. If this epic burned your soul, smash that like, subscribe, ring that bell. Would you pilot Wrath 7's wrath? Share to spread the HFY fire. Stay tuned, Earth's saga never ends.